Wait, no, that's not how that's breakfast with Unity style. Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Max Burrow, and with me is Phil and Jeffrey.
Hello. Hi.
So, today we're going to be playing around with the Unity 5.0 beta a little bit more. Originally, I had planned doing a networking overview. I was really super excited about it, and it's not in there. The networking features aren't actually in the Unity 5.0 beta that was released for pre-order people. So, we're not doing networking, which, you know, that's a thing, but I guess that's the thing we're not doing. So we're gonna just look at other stuff that's in this thing. We're gonna stay away from like shaders and stuff because we kind of played with that on the first one, and we're just gonna see other features that we can play around with. So let's go without further ado. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, and I haven't actually checked to see if these work yet, but we're gonna do new project, and I noticed that when you choose new project, there's a couple presets here that you can play with. There's an infinite runner one and a tower defense one, and I figured maybe we should just see what's in these things.
Yeah. And Pac-Man is more to come.
Yeah, evidently more to come means Pac-Man.
How do you know that's Pac-Man and not most of a pie?
I guess that's a good point. More to come. Yeah, most of the pie. Look at all the stuff that is to come versus the stuff that is already here. What this represents. There we go.
No.
Or this is the percentage that looks like Pac-Man's mouth and the percentage that looks like Pac-Man's body.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with infinite runner test, and we're gonna super repo. Why not? And we're gonna do infinite runner. Actual template. Oh, placeholder. Actual template is not ready yet. I'm gonna see what happens. I don't think anything's going to actually happen now.
So does the more to come mean that they're gonna have more placeholders, or?
Sweet. You get main scene, and there's this thing called My Prefab. And it appears to be a double cube. And there's a sphere in the middle here for some reason.
Double cube?
Double cube! all the way across the sky. So we just double cubed in a sphere. Alright, so that's sweet. So I'm done with that project. That was all that was in there. It's more than I expected to be in there after reading that there wasn't anything in there. Yeah. So let's see what the other one does, just for the curious.
Double sphere.
Yeah, hopefully. We can only hope. Tower D.
Or maybe it's one
test.
cube. I'm assuming the double cube was to differentiate it from the previous placeholder.
That's kind of what I figured too. So it's either a single cube or my tower defense. Now this one says tower defense scenes. That's cool. That's new. But it does appear that it is fully equipped with the double cube.
Wow. So is a change in standard assets included?
No. Right now they have not touched any of the assets here. These are all definitely the ones that we were working with before. Additionally, now there is the I forget what it's called. We aren't, are we?
I don't know.
We are.
Okay, good.
All right.
Last time I was paying attention. This time I wasn't.
All right. So, I evidently wasn't paying attention either because I didn't know if it was on main screen or not.
Also, I was not, but I was looking at chats.
So,
I was thinking about how
what was the question again?
For Unity making a better
Is there a change to the standard assets included? Is a change in the standard assets included?
No. Now there is a standard assets beta that you can access, and I think it's called standard assets. I forget if it's what is this one called? Hold on, I just want to see. Standard assets. Okay, so it's not called standard assets. It's called something else, but.
Okay.
And that's probably what's going to be in the project, but you can actually download it from the asset store right now, and it's really cool. And actually, Breakfast with Unity already has the files in it right now because we're going to be playing with them soon too. So,
neato.
So yeah. All right. Well, let's create one more new project. So now that we've had oh wow, this menu was the old menu. So the old menu is in there. It's just not always there. All right.
They're making a lot of changes for Unity 5.
Yeah, they are.
They really are, yeah.
So let's just call this Unity Playaround.
I'm really excited about networking now.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it too, but they don't have it in here.
That's true.
You should definitely watch the video though on the networking because it's freaking awesome. But yeah, it's not in the beta here yet. So what is in the beta? We know that they updated the physics system because we found things that broke on it.
shaders.
We have the shaders. That's cool. Actually, I have a little list here, don't I? I have a little cheat sheet. So, global illumination, we kind of touched on that with the shaders. Physically based standard shader. These are the two that we basically covered before. We covered a little bit on the API changes. This is the changes to that you have to use
the get
components calls, and then at the very end they mentioned this would be the change from rigid body to rigid body. We felt this was hard and not very attractive alternative. Well, I thought it was okay, so I made one that does this. So, and so can you. So, so we've got so we kind of covered those things, at least in the light way.
Frame debugger?
There's the frame debugger, there's the audio mixer, there's high performance physics, there's new animation features, and there's WebGL. Those are the things that we could play around with. In the comments, if you have anything in particular you'd like to see the most, go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do first is I just want to try a WebGL export because I think that will take the least amount of time to mess around with,
all right.
And we'll see what we can make.
Sounds like a good plan.
I'm just going to very quickly create something that does something. I'm just going to have spawn randomly, and
So would WebGL not require the Unity web player?
it shouldn't require a plugin to actually use it, so that would be awesome.
That would be pretty awesome.
All right. So all this is going to take is public game object to spawn, public float radius, and public float rate equals 0.5f.
Cinecat wants to see
equals
state machines
1.0f.
as well, by the way.
All right.
Is that being added?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's in the beta or not, but we're gonna look for
We'll
it.
take a look.
So object spawn. All right, cool. Radius 1.0, rate 1.5. So all I'm gonna do is run an invoke spawn now rate. I guess, actually, I'm going to go delay.
All right.
Rate's technically a misnomer, and we're going to call this spawn now. Get rid of this because it doesn't apply anymore. And we invoke that at the end, and we just do an instantiate.
There's a question of wouldn't it be better to load any of your previous projects?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, let's do that. Fine.
And a lot of stuff could break with doing this, but that's part of the fun, right?
Yep. We'll just open up. Breakfast Unity again. Breakfast with Unity.
BWU.
All right. Let's just go ahead and update it again. Whatever. I'll let it automatically figure out my scripts. Yeah, do it. Yeah, they're backed up. I swear.
They are backed
They
up.
are actually backed up, but yes. But even if they weren't, I'd probably click that button at this point on the show.
Too.
And we have to re-import things. Great. So, in the meantime, let's look at some things. So, someone wants to look around at the new animation features / state machine stuff. So, the big thing is you can create scripts that have on-state enter, on-state update, on-state exit stuff.
Oh, cool.
And so you can actually use these state machines as ways to control program flow and scripting and stuff. And it's designed to also work even if you don't have animations. At least that's what they claim. It says basically anything that requires some kind of state machine logic in your game, with or without animation, can use this. So
Really?
This is kind of what people were looking for: is a built-in state machine system for Unity. Looks like we may now have that.
That would be
or at
pretty
least
cool.
the start of one.
That could be really cool.
Yes.
I have an idea for a plugin.
Okay, already. What's your idea, if you don't mind saying it to the world, or do you want to keep that one close to the chest?
Something that converts scripts that use a lot of coroutines into a state machine.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Might get into some parsing nastiness on that, but yeah. And they have like these entry and exit stuff. I'm not quite sure how that works. I think this is so that you can go between state machines. Although I'm not 100% sure. Direct blend trees, I really don't know what that helps with. Alright, is this thing done yet? No, it's not. Oh, it is. Okay, it just showed up somewhere else. Alright, so let's look at, let's export the force ball thing here, even though it doesn't work that well right now.
Okay.
Save. Oops, no, I don't want to save. I don't care about this scene. Alright, compiler errors have to be fixed. What didn't get fixed? Water hose particles. Where is this even from? Oh, it's in sample assets. Okay, I'll just delete this for right now. Is that good enough for you? Are you happy now?
Is it happy now?
Nope. Yes.
Yep. Nope.
No.
Nope.
Holy.
Alright. I'm just going to delete this scripts folder
All right.
and see if that works better. And delete this scripts folder.
Shut them all down.
All the internets?
All trash compactors in the detention center.
Oh, yeah. Nice. So let's...
What
apparently...
is all of this nonsense? Evidently, so the beta assets is not very friendly to the new version of you. What? Okay, I'm just getting rid of the whole. Just die. The whole folder is just going away. I can get it back later, I'm sure.
So apparently the state machine lets you build a state machine out of other state machines.
What do you mean?
Movement machines, jump machines, and being able to reuse it in multiple character state machines with different logic. That's what Cinecat's saying. You build a state machine out of other state machines. So there's like multi-state state machines.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's cool.
That could be really, really powerful.
So the thing you want to instantiate is null. And evidently that's because object spawn is nothing, even though it should be big force ball 13. And then probably on the grid spawner, this is probably broken too. It is. So let's do grid spawner, big force ball, no, glow cube, and where's the exterior one? That's reflective cube. Whoops, there we go. What did just happen there? Okay, that's fine.
What the what?
I don't know.
Oh, things are happening. Look, we got something playing.
Did like all of these settings go away? Oh, they did. Okay, weird. 10, 10, 10. And how big are the cubes? I don't remember how big I made them. They're like big though, right? No, they're ones. I swear I made them bigger at one point.
Maybe they reset too.
Or it's possible.
Alright, well, we'll just go with ones and we'll just see how it looks.
No.
It's pretty much just to test the internet thing, or the web.
Yeah. Alright, that's good enough. We'll test it.
This will at least run.
Yeah.
So that's the important part.
Build settings. We're going to add this scene. We get rid of the scene that's already in there. And we're going to go to Webgl Preview and optimization level. Very slow builds, fast. Let's just go with slow so that it's a fast build. And we're going to call this desktop WebGL test.
Nice. Nice.
I don't really understand why it has to import the MP3 that we're not using in any of the scenes, but
It really wants to.
oh, and it's done, evidently, or it failed, or no, it was taking a breather.
It's just doing its
taking
thing.
a breather.
It's just doing its thing, man. Just doing its thing.
I was so pumped for the networking, and I'm still kind of bummed that that's not what we're doing tonight. Because I was like researching the videos. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome, and then I'm like, where are any of these things? They're not here.
And they're not there.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad. I'm sad.
Convert and compile scripting files. This definitely takes a lot longer than the old web export, but that's because it has to basically build an engine in JavaScript for Unity versus the other one where it's just like, hey, the plugin you download separately, so it doesn't even have to worry about that portion. It's going to see when files actually start showing up in here. Definitely utilizes a lot of the CPU, though.
Yeah, look at that meter.
Native compiled to JS. That's exciting.
What is that meter called, by the way?
Which meter?
That one that you just brought up. It's a little app
Oh,
called.
this is called iStat menus. Yes.
Sweet.
It's nice. It's got like histories, and you can like get temperature
So
information
that's the
in history.
temperature that's there, and the memory, I'm assuming, as well.
Yeah.
I figure I'm just
Memory
asking
usage.
because we're waiting for a
Yeah.
bar anyway. So, does it also give you the kilobits per second upload and download?
Yes, it does.
Oh, sweet!
Yep.
Awesome. And what? One more time. iStat.
iStat menus.
iStat menus. You just sold iStat menus
All right. Awesome.
to me because I want that. Can you get it in the App Store?
Yes, I believe you can. I think you can at least.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. There's iStat Mini.
Okay,
Nope.
I guess they can't do the menus anymore because of like whatever Apple requirements are. Thought this would be copy and build results. That sounds promising.
Yeah, that
gzip
does.
compressing build result.
That does sound promising. I can't stop yawning. I'm tired today. Not to be confused with not being tired.
Huh?
I'm tired.
Okay,
Sleepy.
gotcha. All right, so here we go. We've got this WebGL test. We're going to go to index.html. Seems your browser does not support running Unity WebGL content from file URLs. Please upload to an HTTP server or try a different browser.
Okay.
Let's try Safari. Let's just see. Whoops, that's not it. Just drag this into there. You need a browser which supports WebGL to run this content. Try installing Firefox.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the option of either downloading Firefox or uploading a thing. Considering I have such a limited upload, I'm going to try downloading this. Maybe it's small. I am not holding my breath that it is, though. Oh god, it's downloading it a few times. Cancel. There we go. It's moving. Alright, well, that was... Oh, wait, no, this is a lie. Alright, well, let's just look at what it created in anyway. So, yeah, this looks like a website. We've got fave icons, we've got fileloader.js. Is this JavaScript? It is.
Oh, yeah.
We've got WebGL test.
Is that where it says try Firefox?
Yeah, probably. So I'm curious if we can find anything that looks like our code. Let's see if we can do like grid and see if this shows up. Grid.
Particle system.
Let's try spawn. There we go. Function Z35 assembly C# spawn randomly. This is one of our scripts. Or at least a portion of it.
Interesting.
FF round.
And it looks like it's actually in, yeah. Cool.
Unity engine mono behavior.
Yes, indeed. Alright, what else is in? So in compress, we probably have... Oh, these are like... Interesting. They're still JavaScript files. So I guess it only uses the compress. I don't know why you need the data and the compress then. Oh well, there's probably some reason. How's this download going? Oh, not well. Okay, this is going to take too long.
Are we abandoning ship?
Are we having any network troubles since the download started? Has anyone complained about like cutouts or problems?
No.
All right, well I'm going to just leave it downloading then. If you see anyone complain, we'll stop it. So.
He said all Slipknot said put the game into a public Dropbox folder and run it from there. It should work.
Yeah, except for that requires me to upload it to Dropbox.
Ah, that's a good point.
And we have very precious upload resources right now.
The upload is the most important thing that we can do. Downloading shouldn't really affect it too much.
It shouldn't, but I've still had it affected sometimes. So.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch platform back to the PC, Mac, Unix. Oh, and we have to wait for this anyway. So, yay! We've got the bar game. It's a bar game again.
Oh,
all right, now it's done.
Oh.
It's done. All right, cool.
Now I'm disappointed because the bar game.
All right, so let's look at this animation state stuff. I'm going to go back to that project that we were looking at before. This Unity Playaround project. Don't save. Yeah, let's save that. Whatever. I'll revert it later. In case we need to go back and rebuild
so
for
nope,
some
all
reason.
good with the download.
Okay, cool. So, rate doesn't exist in the current context. Delay. We're not actually using the script. I just wanted to throw it there. So, let's look at what they were talking about with the with these things. So we need. Oh, we were in the animation section. So we need the words that we need are these state machine behavior. So I'm assuming that that's a thing that we can subclass from. So let's try state machine behavior test. And instead of inheriting from mono behavior, let's try inheriting from state machine behavior.
All right.
All right, cool. So this gives us. So it says callbacks, so we probably don't have to override them. It's probably just like the update stuff. As a matter of fact, so let's just let's just try one. So we're going to try onStateInner, void onStateInner. And all we're going to do is just do a debug log. Debug.log. We entered a state.
I don't suppose you could have picked
Yay.
to create a new state machine behavior instead of a new C# script.
Oh, just like in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So, let's just try this.
Maybe that would be another good plugin.
Yeah.
And preload it with all of the state machine.
Yeah, all of the functions.
Instead
Just
of-
yeah, exactly.
instead
Instead of the start. Yeah.
and update.
So, what are we doing? So, what we're going to do is we're going to create an animation on something. I'm just going to create a cube or something. Just give us
cube
a
something?
cube, and then we're going to go into Animator or Animation. Dock this down somewhere, and I'm just going to record something. We're just going to call this cube, and we're just going to like drag it left and
Apparently the soft shadowing is really good looking.
Cool.
in this engine as well now in 5.
Really, 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 really good looking.
Incredibly, ridiculously good looking.
We'll just make it do something so it just goes, just kind of slides around. Cool. Good enough for me. So now we're done with that. This thing should have a state machine, and it does. So we're going to open this.
Apparently there's a portable application called Monogoose, which will allow you to have a local server to run things like that. By the way, I just remembered there's a small portable application called Monogoose.
Run things like
HTML5
that. HTML5 games. Oh, cool.
Figured I'd mention it.
Firefox is nearly done. All right, so we entered a state. Yay. So we enter here. We get into our cube. And actually, let's create a new empty state first. So let's just create an empty state. And so we're going to try going make transition to new state. Why does it still have default states if there's an entry? Maybe the entry is not as important as it looks. So let's set this as default. Let's make a transition here. Why does that have 3 arrows on it? Should it have 3 arrows on it?
Probably because
I don't know what that means.
It looks like it... Oh, when I got rid of it, it still has one there, but it has 1 arrow now. Okay, whatever.
Is it still default?
This one is, yes. If I set this to default... Okay, so I have no idea why
Why the triple arrow?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
That's weird.
So let's do it when we get to the cube. Let's add a behavior, and we're going to do state machine behavior test. And so if we hit play, okay, on state enter, the function must have exactly 3 parameters. All right, so we're going to have to figure this out then. State machine behavior test. Actually, so go into the documentation that's for the beta. So I'm just going to go help here. And we're going to look for, what is it called? State machine behavior. State machine.
Wasn't there a hotkey
There we go.
where you could select a function?
There is, but it tends to bring you to the online docs and not the local ones.
Oh, this is the local.
So, yeah. Considering this is the beta and they haven't updated their docs to have the beta documentation as far as I can tell online, you're going to need to use your local docs. So you get an animator, animator state info, and a layer index. So, and I think these get filled in for you. So I'm just going to put these into here, and we're not going to do anything with them. Save. So now, if we hit here, okay, it looks like things are going to work. I'm going to hit play, and we entered a state. Yay. So,
entry and exit aren't states, they're proxies to whatever they're connected to.
Yeah. No, I know that they're not states, and it looks like... I think they're more used for if you have multiple state machines to call into a different state machine.
That's what I think.
Yeah. All right, cool.
There's a question. If I want to attack the nearest object of a certain type that's in a particular direction, a distance to player, am I better off using a trigger or an overlap sphere?
What was the question?
Apparently it says, "Hey, Cinecat or cooking guys?" Question mark. I want to detect the nearest object of a certain type that's in a particular direction and the distance to the player. Am I better off using a trigger or an overlap sphere?
A trigger or an overlap sphere. Both of those will be about the same. If you can use those, they'll be fine. The worst case is if you have to check every object to see what's closest. That's the slowest that you can do. If you can use the Unity collision systems, that's your best bet. And both of those use the Unity collision system. So it really would be your personal choice. Physics overlap sphere is a little bit more scripty, and triggers are a little bit less scripty.
And use a vector 3 dot to find the one closest to the center.
I
mean, you could use.
Yes.
You could
Yeah, that
figure
would
out
work.
within the overlap sphere which
Yeah.
one of those is the closest.
Yeah,
And the applicable
yeah.
kinds, and that operation shouldn't cost too much.
Yeah, the dot operation will work. The highest dot value will be the one that's closest to centered on your screen. So.
And apparently Unity needs to add a keyboard shortcut that allows you to make a translation. Or translation while pressing the left mouse button. So they said Unity. And triggers are more customizable. I agree with that too. Triggers are more customizable.
All right, so So that worked. Let's actually print out some additional information about our state. So let's do debug.log.
What's in state info?
That's what I'm going to look at. So let's see what has animators in it real quick first. Name. So animator, that's probably not very useful. Let's look at the state info. State info dot name. Short name hash is name. Neither of those make much sense. Is tag length loop normalized time toString full path hash.
Oh, I saw your download come
See
up.
if
I
you
think
can
it's
just
done
print state
downloading.
info
All right, just toString.
without the toString.
Okay, it'll still just call toString internally, I'm sure. All right.
You're
So-
by the way.
Cool. Yeah, it just says in state info. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected.
Well, some things build out the string and give you more information.
Let's try short name hash. I'm just curious what this actually prints. Yep, that's not human useful. Dot, so whether it loops, so we don't get a whole lot of info, do we? Maybe the animator gives us more info. Animator dot
Is
state.
it full path name or something?
I guess we could get the current animation clip state or something to get more information out of it, but I guess we don't need that. Well, what was the question?
State info had full path something.
Yes, state info had full path hash.
Oh,
It's a
that's not
hash
gonna
still,
be-
so it's probably just going to be another number. Yep. Alright, well that's still super useful that we can actually do stuff like that. I don't have anything prepped to actually set up, although we might be able to think of something really quick. Let's look at the this Firefox installer.
All right.
Where is it?
I saw it there. It bounced.
There it is.
It was bouncing.
Oh, well, I'm sure that I evidently had Firefox. I'm sure that it was old, so I can't remember the last time I've opened Firefox. So now Firefox. Yeah, sure. I like the internets. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and open this and see if it just works.
It looks like you
I haven't started Firefox in a while.
So I guess it still has all of your
Yeah, I'll
plugin
reset it. I
information
don't
and
care.
stuff.
Oh, it's running.
Not for long.
No, you just reset it.
No. And yeah, we'll just go back to that.
We can start using that for Ludum Dare instead of Unity Web Player.
Yeah, no, it's going to be nice.
Yeah, I think
And
that's really
no
cool.
plugins required. And theoretically, it works on Chrome as long as it's on a website. For some reason, it doesn't support it for local files. I don't really understand why, but yeah.
It seems to work pretty well.
Yeah, other than the physics problems that we
Yeah, well,
already
that's
found.
no,
but
that's a
yeah.
different issue.
And the fact that their cubes are like really big, and I didn't make them very big in the thing. But yeah, no, this is nice, and didn't require a plugin download. The fresh Firefox, I definitely didn't have a plugin for Unity, so that's awesome. It's freaking out.
Yeah, it is freaking out, man.
But it does work. That's cool.
That is cool.
All right.
Sweet.
That was painless, relatively, other than the downloading things. All right. So let's. So useful things that we could do with this is if we let's make it so that yeah, let's just make something with the state stuff. So I'm just going to create I'm just going to duplicate this state machine behavior test, and we're going to call this destroy after state. And we're just going to change this to say, well, first we're going to quit this. Going to say destroy after state. And what we're going to do is void on state exit. I'm going to assume that these have the same signatures, but we'll find out. And what we're going to do is we're going to destroy... Oh, wait. So can we get at the game object? Probably. We can do destroy. We can do destroy animator dot get component game object. There isn't just not a dot game object. There might be a game object. Oh, there is. Okay, we don't need the get component on that one.
Game object and transform.
Yeah, those ones are always be available, so that's nice. Because everything has to be a game. Everything that's a component has to have a game object, and every game object has a transform, so they can assume those ones.
Yeah.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our cube animator again, and after this animation, we'll throw this as well. We'll just do both of them. Okay, destroy after state. And so what should happen here is if we hit play, we should see the cube animate and then disappear. And did not. Because it didn't exit the state. That makes sense. So this didn't exit anywhere, so where is the... I thought there was an exit. There it is. It's hidden over here. Haha. Let's see if this solves the problem. So if we just make a transition to exit, let's see if it exits. Pop. There we go.
Sweet.
Did look like it animated a little extra at the end there before it killed itself.
So by the way, there's context to that question earlier.
Okay.
It says, well, what I'm trying to do is make a simplified Assassin's Creed type thing. My plan is to see what the nearest obstacle is in front of the player and then play a animation using the new state machine scripts to do the target matching.
Cool.
Yeah, it should work out pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, try it. Like, that's the best way to figure out this kind of stuff in the Unity is just go ahead and try things, you know?
So this thing has a hard loop on it, right? So this may be something important to keep in mind, because when we hit play here, it doesn't look like it gets the destroy message right at the end. Like it gets it a little bit after.
Yeah, it does.
This reminds me of Siphon Filter. Huh.
You're right. That is just a moment after, isn't it?
It's more than a frame.
It's like about 2 or 3 frames.
Yeah. Let's see. On state exit. Called on the last update frame when a state machine evaluate this state.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm curious about something. So this animation, how many frames is it long right now? It is...
Do we check the transitions and everything like that?
Which transitions?
Are there transitions?
Yeah, there's transition from entry to new state to cube to exit.
Can
And
we watch
exits.
that while the game is running? Will it animate and show
It
as it's going through the
should.
state?
So if we
Yeah,
go to a
everyone's saying
cube and
check
hit
the
play...
transitions.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying, because it might be that this transition has exit time. That might be all we have to change. So let's get rid of that.
That is probably it. Transition duration 1.2. That sounds
There we go.
like it right there.
Let's give that a shot. Well, now it doesn't work.
Well, let's put the exit transition, but just don't put the transitions time in there. Because that 0.1 seems about the right time, but I don't know.
There we go.
And
Looks like that fixed it. So that's good. That's good. It's not soft. It's just we didn't set it up right.
sweet. That's good
That's
news.
good to know. That's good to know.
And it has to have an exit time to exit.
Yeah, evidently it has to have an exit time if it wants to auto exit. I guess I would imagine it would. Here, let's see if we have another parameter. Like say we did. Here, let's look at this. Let's say we add. Wow, this is a different interface. Let's just add a bool here, and we're going to call it always false. And if we go here and we say we don't have an exit time, but it has a condition of always false being false, let's see if it'll exit. I imagine it will, but I just want to check it. Oh, it looked like it worked, except for it might have been early. Oh, that's right. Of course it's early, because it gets to this state. It's like, hey, do you have an exit time? It's like, no, it's zero exit time. And then it's like, this is false, so I should kill myself. So
also you want it to be 1, I'm assuming the values,
for the exit time?
I guess. I don't know what that does.
I imagine it doesn't matter in this particular case. If we were
Probably
going to
not
a different, if we were going to a different thing, and you wanted that animation to play, then absolutely you would want 1,
Yeah.
definitely.
What was an interruption source?
What do you mean? What? What is interrupt?
Go back to the state? Or the transition?
Okay.
Settings? Oh.
Don't quite know what that is, but okay, whatever. What am I going to do next?
What were the other functions? There's an on-state enter, on-state exit.
There's an on-state update,
Yeah, let's check
so we can use that as a full state machine thing. So let's not even have an animation. Let's just delete this cube. Actually, I guess we can keep the cube. Doesn't matter. Whatever. I'm just gonna create. Just gonna add component physics component. Where is this actually? Miscellaneous animator. There we go. Let's just add the animator. Yeah, I guess we can still use this stupid thing. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of all these states. Actually, I'll keep a new state, and we'll just delete this.
delete cube.
And what we'll do is we will try to programmatically drive this a little bit. So let's call this, let's create a C# script called move forward state is what I'm going to call it.
State.
And then this will be a state machine behavior, and this will be void which one is it? On state update. So void on state update, and then we're going to probably need the thingies here again. Yep. Even though we're probably not going to reference them. At
Yeah,
least
but
not
it never
much.
hurts to have them.
And then we'll just do transform. Oh yeah, sorry. Animator dot transform dot position plus equals transform. Wait. Animator dot transform dot forward times time dot delta time. We'll throw a speed in here too. Let's see how this actually works. Public float speed equals 1.0 f.
Sweet.
Throw the speed in here. Speed. And then let's also do a public float frames to stay to move forward. I'm just going to no, let's not do that just yet. All right. So if we hit save and then we just go into new state here, and we're like, hey, we need a move forward state.
All right.
And it has a speed variable, excellent. And if we hit play now, we don't even have an animation on this thing, but it should, yep, it started moving forward.
Wow.
And so if we wanted to make it so that it turned around when we hit something, let's have it so that if we collide with something, it does something. So I'm going to create another cube. We're going to put this into the Z a little bit. And what we'll do is, yes, double cube. I'm going to make this a trigger. I'm going to create a C# script called set animation trigger on trigger.
That's a weird title.
Well, I was going to do just set trigger on trigger, and then I'm like, that's even weirder.
Even
so,
weirder.
Set
You're
animation trigger to trigger on trigger.
Yes.
On trigger.
So void on trigger enter.
Trigger on trigger.
Trigger.
Set animation trigger to trigger on trigger.
Get component animator dot set trigger, and we can do the name. And so we'll just have a public.
Can we call it trigger?
Float.
I heard you
Public
like triggers.
string
Triggered your
name.
trigger.
Trigger name.
Trigger, please.
Set trigger name. Maybe triggers are fixed too, so that would be great. Alright, so we save this. And so now if we let's create another C# script called turn left on state enter.
I have a comment. It says, so basically they just turned their animation state machine into a regular old state machine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Public.
fairly accurate. Just
Actually,
good.
the kind of thing that I actually like to work with is this is organized more how I wanted
the animation
Playmaker to be organized, quite frankly. So I'm pretty excited about this. Let's turn left on state enter. We'll just do on state enter, which is looks like this. And this should not be a mono behavior. This should be a state machine behavior.
Not a mono behavior.
And what we're going to do is just transform.rotate.
Animator.transform.
Yes, animator.transform.rotate. And we will just rotate.
Vector up times 90.
Yeah. 3.up times 90.0f.
Or negative 90.
Whatever. If it turns right, we'll.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do negative. Just that
Okay.
probably is more likely
I'm
to
not
be
an
that.
ambi-turner.
So. So now, if we go to our cube animator thing, we can do a new state called create state empty. We're going to call this. Let's actually name these. So move forward, and this one will make a transition here. This transition will be if we have a parameter. So the parameter needs to be a trigger. We're going to call this trigger turn left. And so this one will be, so we don't have an exit time, and we don't want a transition duration, and we want to add turn left. There we go. And then what we will do is immediately make a transition back to move forward. This one will just be has exit time, and we'll just set it to 1.0, like
So
we probably should.
A second. We'll
Zero down. So hopefully, well, this isn't a second.
It'll
this
go
is important.
through one cycle.
One cycle of the animation, and we don't have an animation, so hopefully this should just immediately go back. So it should just turn immediately and start going.
Yeah.
And so we need to just do the rest of the setup here. So which one is the keyword that's moving? It's this one. Do these both have animators? No, good. So so on this one we need to put turn left on state enter. Script needs to derive. Oh yeah, sorry, that's one of the state ones. We need set animation trigger on trigger. That's what we want. And this trigger is going to be turn left. And then in Animator, this new state, we're going to call this turn left. And we're going to put turn left on state enter. Turn left. And so in theory, if we go to our scene and we hit play, this thing should go towards that other block and then make a turn. And it did not. And part of the reason it didn't is because this thing does not have a rigid body and we're moving it around and expecting the physics to work. So we need to give it a physics rigid body and we will set it to is kinematic. Let's see if that solves our problem. Alright, so it actually went there, stopped for a second, and then went over. So I think in this case we actually do want to use exit time of
0.
Actually, let's just try turning exit time off and then see what happens. See,
It just transition directly. Or it needs an exit time to get out of there.
Alright. And then we'll set this to 0. And
Which should be actually just an immediate transition then, right?
Hopefully.
Like that?
That wasn't immediate, I don't think. But let's double check.
No, it paused when it hit the... Or actually, maybe it's just a...
I just think it's a perspective thing. No, it paused. For sure. So, let's look at our transitions again. Not that one, the other one.
This one's working.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So how long are we
maybe
in the
it's
turn
working.
How long are we in the turn
let's find out,
state?
Let's find out if it is working.
It's not the transition.
I just want to make sure that it actually does turn. Let me just do this so I can click on this thing. All right, so I just want to see what its little...
Probably is going to turn immediately. Pop.
Yep, it did.
And then it waits, and then it goes. So it's actually within the turn left animation.
Yeah, so somewhere in here that we're...
Speed is 1 right there.
Yeah.
Is that the problem? The speed is 1.
Well,
that would be
total...
1.
No, that's our variable. Where's the transition back?
So here's the transition back. Let me make this a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that's great.
Make that a little bit smaller.
We should look at this state
All right, let's try
running.
not exit time, and let's give it another parameter. Let's just do... Let's do always false, because we have it here. I just am curious if this will actually solve it. I don't think it will, but... Oh, it did! A little hack worked. Alright, so we told it that we didn't have an exit transition, but then we gave it a actual transition reason.
It looked like it still froze.
Looks like it still paused
frames.
for a moment.
What? Could we bring up the animation system so we can see how it's flowing through the animator?
Yeah, sure. Play.
Didn't even look like it went to the turn left.
It totally did. You didn't
Just
see it
with the
flicker
moment.
for
I
a
didn't see
moment.
the flicker, no.
You'll see it just go boop.
Wow.
Alright.
So if we turn that false, always false equals false off, what
Yep.
happens then?
Then it just gets stuck. So if we get rid of this...
Well, I mean, I know it's going to get stuck. I'm just curious what it's going to do in the animator.
Sure thing.
Yeah, see, it cycles through
Yeah.
loops of animation. What is its animation right now?
Should be none. Yep, none. This is always a little bit of an edgy case, not having animations, but if they're going to be turning this into a full-blown state machine system, this should be a common case. And they actually even said in the documentation
Granted,
that...
yet again, still beta.
Yeah, of course.
I think maybe on-state update isn't running on the frame in which it gets on-state enter or something.
Well, no, that it's not in here, so it wouldn't be running the update. So we only have an update attached to move forward. That's in move forward state. This one just has an on enter.
Apparently, Cinecat said
But that's what I mean. It jumps here and it jumps back here immediately, but it doesn't move forward right away.
Cinecat said
It skips one frame.
or
Yeah,
something.
it would skip one frame. That's right.
instant state machine transitions are done by disabling the exit time.
Okay, well, that didn't
Apparently.
work. So, like, watch.
There must be something that we're missing.
If we disable we have disabled exit time,
Yeah.
it's off. So now it worked when we explicitly gave it a another transition to use that was valid.
Yeah.
So that might be something you have to do for now. Again, this may just be beta stuff, and
Yeah,
it might
I
be
mean-
that it might be that there's a best practice for how we're doing this, and I'm just totally stepping all over it. So,
There's lots of possibilities.
yes, there absolutely are. But yeah, so if we give this a conditional, and it's true, it will. There, see, it just immediately goes. It's like if we hit play now, it should just go. Now it will. So I think the reason that it looks like it's stopping for one frame, although it actually didn't look like it stopped for one frame that time. No,
It
that
did
definitely
that
was a
time.
pause. So
it had a pause.
it mentions that update. It's called each update frame except for the first and last frame. So that
those
means there will be a 1 frame delay.
So we could put the same code in on-state enter.
Yes, we could. If we let's actually try that. Let's see that, because that's probably going to be a common thing if you're going to be using non-state update. So let's just let's actually separate this out to a separate thing. Let's just call this void move, and we will just throw this in here. Although we need the animator, so this will take an animator, and then all we're going to do is call move animator, and we will copy this on state enter. There we go. Now if we need to change things, it's only one place that you have to change them. So let's see if that gets rid of our little frame delay.
So there's a question from Brazil.
That looked pretty smooth. What's the question from Brazil?
And what question is it possible to use Admixing Transform with Animator component?
I don't know what Admixing Transform
I don't know what
is
that
at
is
all.
either. But it sounds like something that Admixing Transform. Oh, look at that.
As a transform, which should be animated. Oh, cool. So this allows you to, like, mix in a into your current animation.
That's cool.
Neato.
We haven't
And so
played
what was
with
the
that.
question?
Is it possible to use Admixing Transform with Animator component? It's a
Well,
good question.
considering
Yeah, I mean,
it
I
has
guess
an
so.
animation state, I would imagine that it's designed for that,
Yeah.
honestly.
And we haven't messed with this really very much. I mean, had you even messed with this at all before this?
No, I never
I didn't
heard
even
of
know
it.
about it.
I don't usually have enough art to actually play around with blending modes and mixing and stuff. Most work I've done on that is on Vanguard V, so
Yeah.
at least in Unity.
That looked instant.
So let's go. Let's actually look at the way that it's facing too. This is important. So, all right, it
That's
gets
it.
there
It should turn.
It turns.
And then it should move
How does
again.
and it moves.
Oh, perfect.
That's fine. That's what we'd expect.
That looks exactly right.
So let's make this thing. Let's do some Choo Choo Rocket real quick before we end the
Dun,
show.
Dun,
So we'll
dun,
just
dun,
do
dun, 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 dun.
one of these,
That's all I can think of, by the way.
and then duplicate it again, and we'll put it like this. And we'll duplicate it again, and we'll put it like this. One's going to be the tricky one to position, like that,
Like that.
and then hit play.
See what? Boop. 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 Oh,
And I
so
missed.
close. Let's try it again. All right. All right. All right.
Looking good.
All right.
We have a loop.
Yep. That's gonna go forever.
Sweet.
Oh, they have a whole. Apparently, they have a whole set of mocap animation that's free to download.
Yes, they
as
do.
well.
It's uncleaned up mocap data too, so it's actually useful if you want to learn how to clean up mocap data.
Sweet.
All right, I'm going to save this as cube state machine.
That's pretty cool, actually. That state machine.
Yeah, and let's call that a wrap. I think we actually got more done than I thought I was going to get, other than the thinking that we were going to do networking. So
We're just not going to worry about that.
yeah, I know. I am super excited about that, though. Like,
I know, I am
that's,
too.
like,
I am too.
I'm so excited because like I can finally teach it because it isn't like convoluted anymore. They actually made it really cool. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you had a good time. I know I did. If you have any questions, please email me, pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me at Drakfire. That's DRAKFYRE. You should buy Phil's game Robot Alone. It's awesome.
Yeah, you should buy my game. And you should also follow me on Twitter. That's at MagmaLemur. You can follow me on Twitter. You'll see if I stream games or something. I don't know. Follow me on Twitter. Whatever. It's cool. Buy my game. But you know what you should do more than either of those things? You should donate to Cooking with Unity. That's right. You get our super repository if you subscribe to.
And the Unity 5.0 stuff, I'm basically putting in the super repo stuff just because it's a smaller group that wants access to that, and I'm sure that I'm not sure. Well, you have money to buy the Unity, so maybe you have $1 somewhere. Like maybe that's the theory. Maybe I don't know.
Donate to us.
Yeah, do it. It's
Click
on
on the
Patreon. There's a link in the hamburger if you're on the main site, or you can just go to patreon.com/cookingwithunity and you'll get there.
Sweet.
And thank you very much for joining us. You guys have a great night.
Yeah, have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
More FaceTime for Phil.